Hello viewers, how are you? Welcome to my channel Physics with Rams. So today we are going to discuss about horizontal projectile motion. Come to the case of this horizontal projectile motion. If a body is being projected from a certain height with a velocity u along the horizontal, then that trajectory followed by the body is known as horizontal projectile motion. Now we have to prove this trajectory as a parabola. So I am going to consider a tower of height h. From this tower, the body is being projected with a velocity u along the horizontal. As it is being projected, the body travels along the trajectory and reaches the ground at a certain position. Now, here as you observe that we can consider two axes. One is x-axis and one is y-axis. Since the body is being projected with velocity u along the horizontal axis, the velocity along the x-axis is u. Initial velocity is u. Whereas along the y-axis or vertical axis, the initial velocity is 0. Whereas we know that the body travels with constant velocity along the horizontal axis. So here, based on that, we can represent that acceleration along the x-axis is 0. Whereas along the vertical axis, the body reaches the ground from maximum height based on gravity. So acceleration along the y-axis is equals to acceleration due to gravity. So here come to the case of this horizontal motion, the body travels with uniform motion, whereas along the vertical axis, the body travels with uniformly accelerated motion. Whereas as you observe that quantities in the case of horizontal motion as well as vertical motion are different, whereas the common quantity in between these two axes is time. So come to the case of this, here now we are going to discuss the motion along the x-axis, motion of body along the x-axis. Come to the case, here let us consider equation s equals to ut plus half at square, where we know that the body has travelled along the horizontal motion with a displacement of x, whereas the velocity along the x-axis is equals to u and acceleration along the x-axis is 0, time is t. So if we substitute these values in this equation, here we have x equals to ut plus half into 0 into t square. So we have x equals to ut. Again now we have to represent the motion along a vertical axis, nothing but along a y-axis. So here s equals to ut plus half at square. So as we consider this equation, so here as you observe that s equals to y, u suffix y equals to 0 and a suffix y equals to g and time is common t. So let us substitute these values in this equation. Then we have y is equals to 0 into t plus half into g into t square. So based on that we can represent that y is equals to half gd square. Whereas we know that t is equals to x by u from this equation. So if we substitute this value in this equation, we can write the equation as y is equals to half g into x by u whole square. Then we can write it as g by 2u square into x square. So let us consider this g by 2u square as a constant. So if we substitute here, we have y is equal to kx square. So as you observe that this equation is in the form of a quadratic equation. Based on that we can represent that this equation is a parabola. We can also represent that the given trajectory is a parabola. Take a screenshot, we will continue. Now we are going to discuss about the time of flight and range. Whereas the time of flight is nothing but the time taken by the body in order to travel this trajectory is represented as the time of flight. Whereas here as you observe that the body is traveling from maximum height to the ground. So here time of flight is being represented as a time of descent. So here time of descent is represented by using the equation s equals to ut plus half at square. Whereas s is nothing but the height from which the body has been started, s equals to h, whereas velocity u suffix y equals to 0, initial velocity is 0. and acceleration along the y-axis is acceleration due to gravity, and the time taken t is nothing but time taken by the body in order to reach the ground. T is equals to capital T. So if we substitute all these values in this equation, we can write it as h equals 0 into t plus half into g into t. So h equals to half g t square. So based on that, here we have 2h is equals to g t square. Then we have 2e square equals to 2h by g. That implies that t is equals to under root of 2h by g. This equation represents a time of a flight. Now we have to discuss about a range, where range is equals to product of a horizontal velocity and time of flight. Where horizontal velocity is nothing but velocity along the horizontal axis, initial velocity, so it is u, and here time of flight is under root of 2h by g. This represents a range, r equals to u into 2h by g. So take a screenshot, we will continue. Now we are going to discuss velocity at any instant. Come to the case of this. Here let us consider after a time t, the body is at this position. The body is at this position. So here the velocity at this position will resolve into two components based on the angle made by the velocity. So here velocity along the x-axis is represented as v suffix x, and velocity along the y-axis is represented as v suffix y. Based on that, velocity along the x-axis is given by using the equation v is equals to u plus at, where here after time t, velocity along the x-axis is v suffix x equals to initial velocity is u plus acceleration along the x-axis is 0 into t. So here based on that, after time t, velocity along the x-axis is u. Now we have to represent the velocity along the y-axis. Velocity along the y-axis. Again, let us consider the same equation. Here we know that v is equals to u plus at, whereas velocity along the y-axis is v suffix y equals to initial velocity along the y-axis is 0, acceleration along the y-axis is g into time t. So based on that, we can represent it as v suffix y equals to gt. Now we have to represent component of velocities after time t. So based on this components, we have to represent the resultant velocity. Whereas we know that v is equals to under root of vx square plus vy square. So if we substitute the value of vx suffix x and v suffix y, here we get a u square plus g square t square. It represents the resultant velocity at any instant of time t. Take a screenshot, we will continue. Now we have to represent the angle made by the resultant velocity, final velocity after an instant of time t. Whereas here based on that, we can represent that tan beta is equals to velocity along the vertical axis v suffix y by velocity along the horizontal axis v suffix x. Based on that, beta equals to tan inverse of v suffix y by v suffix x. This represents the angle made by the velocity after an instant of time t. Take a screenshot. Now we are going to solve numericals based on a horizontal projectile motion. Here observe that a particle is being projected horizontally with a speed u from the top of a plane, inclined plane at an angle of theta. It has been inclined by an angle of theta with the horizontal. How far from the point of projection will the particle strike the plane? So here, as you observe, that is a right angle triangle. We can represent that tan theta is equals to opposite side by adjacent side. So we get a tan theta equals to y by x. Whereas the resultant, since it is a right angle triangle, we can apply the Pythagoras theorem. Whereas we know that Pythagoras theorem is r square equals to hypotenuse square equals to side square plus side square. So based on that, we can represent that r equals to under root of x square plus y square. As you observe this equation, we can represent y is equals to x tan theta. So if we substitute this value in this equation, here we have under root of x square plus x square tan square theta. So we can take x square as common. So based on that, we can represent it as x square into 1 plus tan square theta, where we know that 1 plus tan square theta is secant square theta. So we can write it as x square into secant square theta. Since it has a square, if we neglect this square root, then we can get r equals to x secant theta. Now we have to find x, the distance travelled along the horizontal axis. So in order to represent this x, here we are going to consider the motion along the y-axis, where we know that y is equals to half gt square, and the motion of the body along the x-axis is x equals to ut. So if we divide these two equations, then we can get here as y by x equals to half gt square by ut. So here one t gets cancelled, then we have y by x equals to gt by 2u. So from this here, the time t, time of flight t is equals to 2u by g into y by x, 2u by g into y by x. This equation represents the time of flight, where we know that y by x is equals to tan theta. So then time of flight is given as t is equals to 2u by g into tan theta, 2u by g into tan theta. Now here we have to find the motion of the body along the horizontal axis. So in order to represent that, here we know that x equals to ut, where time of flight t is equals to 2u by g into tan theta. Then we can represent the horizontal motion as u into 2u by g into tan theta. So u into u is nothing but 2u square by g into tan theta. So if we substitute this value in the range equation, where range r equals to x secant theta. So if we substitute here, we get r equals to x value is nothing but 2u square by g into tan theta into secant theta. This equation represents the range of the body along the horizontal path. Take a screenshot, we will continue. The next problem is, an aeroplane is flying in a horizontal direction with a velocity of 600 km per second. So as you observe that this aeroplane is traveling in the horizontal direction with a speed of 600 km per hour at a height of 1960 meter, 1960 meters. So here height of this aeroplane is 1960 meter. When it is vertically above the point A on the ground, a body is dropped from it. So here a body has been dropped from this aeroplane. The body strikes the ground at point B. The body strikes the ground at point B. Calculate the distance AB. Nothing but we have to find range, where we have to represent this range AB. So in order to represent this, here the values are given as initial velocity is 600 kmph, where we know that 1 kmph is equal to 5 by 18 meter per second. So based on that, here we know that 6 1 is 6, 6 3 is 18. So 500 by 3 meter per second. 500 by 3 meter per second. Whereas height of this aeroplane is h is equal to 1960 meter. So as we know that the time of flight of the body is given as t equals to under root of 2h by g. where the value of g is given as 9.8 meter per second square by 9.8. So from this equation here we have 2 into, we have, let us consider it as 9.6 into 10 square by 9.8. We know that 9.8 2s are 19.6. So we have under root of 2 into 2, nothing but 4. Under root of 4 is 2. Under root of 10 square is 10. So we get 20 seconds. So time taken by the body in order to reach the ground is 20 seconds. Now we have to represent range, where we know that our range is equals to horizontal velocity into time of flight. Here horizontal velocity is 600 kmph, nothing but 500 by 3 meter per second. So if I substitute here 500 by 3 meter per second into time of flight is 20 seconds. So 20. So based on that, here we know that 3 ones are 3, 3 6 are 18. Again we have 2. If we keep point, again we will get 26.66 like that. So if I multiply here 5 3s 5 6 30, and here again we have 5 6 30 33, again 5 6 30 33.33 into 10 square. Now we can write this equation as 3.33 into 10 to the power of 3 meters. In terms of kilometers, it can be represented as 3.33 kilometer, where we know that 1000 meter is equals to 1 kilometer. So this is the answer. Take a screenshot. We will continue. The next problem is, a boy aims a gun at a bird from a point at a horizontal distance of 100 meters. So here the bird is at this location and the boy is at this location. So now here he has to aim the gun towards the bird, and the distance between the boy and the parrot is 100 meters. If the gun can impart a velocity of 500 meter per second, so here the velocity of the gun is 500 meter per second to the bullet, at what height above the bird must aim in order to hit it? Means here the boy has to aim above the bird so that it has to hit the parrot. So in order to find this, let us consider the equation x equals to ut, where x is nothing but the horizontal distance, whereas here initial velocity is nothing but u equals to 500 meter per second. If I substitute the values, where x is 100 equals to 500 into t, so 2 zeros gets cancelled and we have t is equals to 1 by 5, nothing but 0.2 seconds. So based on that, we can represent that the time taken by the bullet in order to hit the parrot is 0.2 seconds. Now we have to find the height at which the gun has to be aimed so that it has to hit the parrot. So let us consider the equation s equals to ut plus half at square, whereas s equals to h, whereas velocity along the vertical direction is 0 and acceleration is represented as acceleration due to gravity, and the time taken is t is equals to 0.2 seconds, which we had been derived. So if I substitute all these values here, we have h equals to 0 into t plus half into g into t square. So from this equation we have h equals to half gt square. So half into g is 10 into time taken by the bullet in order to hit the parrot is 0.2 whole square. So we can write it as 4 into 10 to the power of minus 2 into 10 by 2. So 2 to the 4, we have 2 into 10 to the power of minus 1. So in terms of meters, or we can also write it as 0.2 meter. In terms of centimeters, we can write it as 20 centimeters. So the gun has to be aimed at a height of 20 centimeters from the parrot. Take a screenshot. We will continue. The next question is, a stair contains 3 steps, each of 10 centimeter high. So, height of each step is 10 centimeters and 20 centimeters wide, and the width of this each step is 20 centimeters, whereas shown in figure. What should be the minimum horizontal velocity? Means we have to represent the minimum initial velocity, horizontal initial velocity of a ball rolling off the uppermost plane so as to hit directly the edge of the lowest plane, whereas here the g value is given as g equals to 10 meter per second square. So now in order to find this, let us find the total height of these steps, whereas h equals to 3 steps into height of each step, nothing but 30 centimeters. So in terms of meters, we can write it as 30 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter, or we can also write it as 0.3 meter, 0.3 meter. Whereas we have to represent the width, whereas width is represented based on the range, whereas range r equals to 3 steps into width of each step 20. So 3 into 20, nothing but 60 centimeters. So we can write it as 60 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter. We can write it as 0.6 meters. Now based on that, now we have to represent the initial velocity which with which the body has to be projected, wherein we know that r equals to u into under root of 2h by g. Then the value of r is 0.6 equals to u into under root of 2 into 0.3 by 10. So here we get 0.6 equals to u into 0.6 by 10, or we can write it as 0.6 equals to u into under root of 6 into 10 to the power of minus 2, where we know that here under root of 6 can be represented as root 3 into root 2 into 10 to the power of minus 1, where we know the value of root 3 as 1.732 into root 2 value is 1.414 into 10 to the power of minus 1. As we multiply these two, based on that we can represent it as 2 u into 2.45 into 10 to the power of minus 1. So here this can also be represented as 6 into 10 to the power of minus 1 equals to u into 2.45 into 10 to the power of minus 1. 10 to the power of minus 1 gets cancelled. So we have u equals to 6 by 2.45. So based on that, the answer is 2.45 meter per second approximately. Take a screenshot. I hope that you had enjoyed my video. Please subscribe my channel and share this video to your friends, and don't forget to like my video. Thank you.